Hey everyone, it's Melinda here. This is going to be my vlog for VEDA day number 14, and I figured I would talk to you guys about how my pregnancies were different with my son and my daughter, because they were completely different. I've been asked to do this vlog, so I thought, why not today? So I want to do that today for you guys. With my son, I got pregnant when I was 20 weeks. He was not planned. I was on birth control. I was taking Yaz. If I'm not mistaken, around the time that I got pregnant with him, I was on antibiotics because I was sick. But don't hold that to me because I'm not really sure. Anyway, I carried him really low. I was induced with him. I had him when I was 36 and a half weeks. I'm going to say that they had my due date wrong, but I'll get to that. The reason why I was induced with him is because I was in labor for many, many weeks, and when I say that, I'm not exaggerating. I had preeclampsia, toxemia with my son. I didn't get those both until my third trimester, and when he was born, he was 7 pounds, 10.5 ounces, and he was 21.5 inches long. That's the reason why I think they had my due date wrong. Because if he was born at 36 and a half weeks, I think he would have been a lot smaller than that. And he was perfect when I had him. He didn't have any problems at all. But anyway, I didn't really have any nausea with him. The only nausea or vomiting that I had with him is when I brushed my teeth. I didn't really have any cravings with him but one. And the one craving that I did have was gingerbread cookies. Iced gingerbread cookies. I had a lot of food versions. The only food that I liked was chicken and spicy foods. Yeah. So, anyway, I gained like 65, 70 pounds when I was pregnant with him. It was really bad. I was swollen like a balloon. Couldn't even see my feet. It was really bad. They wanted me to have a C-section with him when they induced me. I went in at like 7 o'clock in the morning. They gave me Pitocin at 8 a.m. Around 1 p.m. they were wanting to give me a C-section. Not because of him, because of me. He was perfect. His heart rate was fine. He didn't show any sign of distress or anything like that. It was me because my blood pressure was shot up like sky high, and they were afraid something was going to happen to me. But I refused the C-section. I had to sign a paper and everything. Like, you don't have to have a C-section. You can refuse it, because I did. But I was lucky. Everything was fine. And I had a natural labor and delivery, and even though it was really intense, like, I was in so much pain. Oh my goodness. My mom had to walk out of the room a few times because it was bad. Anyway. But yeah. So, I didn't find out I was pregnant with him until I was 10 weeks, by the way. That's, okay, I didn't have insurance. I had to go to a free clinic in North Carolina. That's where I lived at the time. And they didn't do ultrasound or anything like that. All they did was pap smear and blood work, and then they determined that I was 10 weeks. I wasn't even sure when my last period was, because when you're that young, you really don't pay attention to that stuff, I guess. Anyway. But I had my son at Loris Hospital in South Carolina, which is not very far from Myrtle Beach. Okay. So on to my daughter. I had my daughter when I was 25, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was 25 when I had her, and she was planned, and me and my husband had been together for 4 years, and we were engaged to get married, and my pregnancy with her, I didn't have any complications at all. I didn't have preeclampsia, I didn't have toxemia, I didn't have gestational diabetes, I didn't have anything like that. I did have a lot of nausea with her, nausea and vomiting. Like, I was very sick with her in the beginning. I had a lot of food aversions. Like, anything that I ate previously to getting pregnant with her, I did not like. But I did have a lot of cravings, and my cravings were sweets, chocolate. Like, I just wanted nothing but sweets. It was bad. Fruit and sweets, and yeah. And I think I had a craving for, if I'm not mistaken, because I did pregnancy vlogs throughout my whole pregnancy with her. chicken and dumplings. I think I had a craving with her. Like, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure I did. But anyway, yeah. I was not induced with her, but, my water broke on my own with her. My water did not break with my son. I was in labor with her for a little while, for about a week, I would say. I got H1N1 flu before I had her. I was in the hospital for about 4 days. My water broke while I was in the hospital. I didn't know it did. Well, I had a feeling that it did. I asked the nurse if she would check and see if my water broke, because I was actually leaking slowly. And she took a urine sample, and then she never said anything to me after that. And then when I came back after they discharged me 4 days later, I came back the same day they released me, because my contractions were like 2 minutes apart. And I went in and I was 6 centimeters dilated and 100% effaced, and I was ready to go. I was ready to have her. And he was like, well, I'm going to pop your water, because since it didn't break, but I thought it broke, I knew it broke. Anyway, he went to break it, and actually my daughter had lacerations on the top of her head because there was no water to break, because it did break, because I was right and that nurse was a bitch. And yes, I have the right to call her that because I'm a nurse myself, and she should have informed my doctor and me that my water did indeed break, because what if I had group B strep or something like that? Because I was not tested for any of that before I went into labor with her. I was not. Like, I thank God every day that I had group B strep with my son. That's the reason why I'm thanking God. I thank God every day that I did not have that, and nothing happened, because my water broke, and I knew it did. I was in the hospital for a couple days after it broke, actually. I was having contractions and everything. They sent me home. I don't know why. I ain't getting into all of that. Anyway, I had natural labor with her, just like I did my son, labor and delivery. I didn't have any complications. I got to the hospital around 1 p.m. I pushed her out about, I think, when was it? No, I have that wrong. No? I can't remember. I think I had her around 4 p.m., the same as my son. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Anyway, I carried her really high, which my son was really low. My son came out, when he came out, he had, the cord was wrapped around his foot 3 times, actually. My daughter didn't have any of that. She was perfect. She was 7 pounds even and 21.5 inches long. She was really long. What else? There's some differences. There's a lot of differences. I found out I was pregnant with her right away. Like, I just knew I was pregnant. Like, I just had that feeling that I was pregnant. And when I took a pregnancy test, it was positive. And then I went to the gynecologist like 3 weeks later. I think the OB, he couldn't get me in for like 3 weeks, and I was only 7.5 weeks. So maybe I wasn't even 4 weeks yet. But when I knew I was pregnant with her, like, I just knew. Like, she was planned at the fact that we weren't trying, but we weren't preventing, but we wanted to have a baby, but we didn't want to stress over the whole TTC thing. But if we didn't get pregnant by a certain time, I was going to start temping and OBKs and all of that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I hope I'm not leaving out anything. I'm sorry, I have really bad indigestion. Like, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I had to go to the hospital. They put me on stomach meds, but I really don't think they work. Anyway, yeah. So if you guys have any questions, if you think I left anything out and you want to know about it, just ask me and I will answer you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.